It's my pleasure to introduce to you all today an accomplished, handsome young man, all of 24 years of age, Mr. Karan Shah. Within this young age, Karan has many feats to his fame. He is a Shamakdavar trained dancer, a distinguished canine and feline behaviorist, and a successful entrepreneur and founder of Positive Future, a dog care and training startup located right here in the heart of Mumbai. Karan is a second born to his parents. Both he and his elder brother Mihir were diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy at a very tender age. While the family lost Mihir by the age of 14 to SMA type 2, Karan escaped and is living with SMA type 3. Loss of his dearest elder brother left an enormous vacuum in Karan's life, which has been caringly soothed by Angel, his pet dog, trained to assist him under the guidance of well known canine behaviorist and trainer Shirin Merchant. Angel also went on to inspire Karan with his canine care and training startup called Positive Future, which not only trains and consults but also provides career oriented certification courses to those who are interested in working with canines. Karan's accomplishments include receiving the Bharat Prerna Award and clinching the much coveted real life roadie title on the reality show Roadies, while Angel, his canine companion, holds the distinction of being India's sole assistant dog. Karan today passionately advocates for disability rights and is looking forward to achieve much more from his life and is in no way threatened by the fear of losing himself to SMA. He believes in his abilities more than his disabilities. Karan, my friend, you are a true rock star. Welcome to my humble platform. I am possible and smart, inspired by my daughter Kia's spirit to live beyond her SMA. Here we connect and share everything that matters.
I'm basically 24 years old, and I had an elder brother when he was suffering from SMA, who unfortunately passed away about 12 years back now. And so we were diagnosed with SMA since birth. My elder brother was diagnosed when he was around a year old, and that time my mom was suggested not to have a second child. But that was too late by the time that she was informed that, and because I was already there in her tummy. For any parents, knowing that both their children are disabled, okay, it took a big toll on their mental health, especially. But my parents decided that for our children, we need to be strong. Then my mom and my dad made it a point, like, they sacrificed their whole life in upbringing Mihir and me. They decided that we need to be 10 times stronger than the normal people, the normal world. There's this one dialogue in Agnipat, Purana movie hai, Amitabh Bachchan ka. So in that there is a dialogue, इस दुनिया में जिंदा रहने के लिए बिगड़ा होना हुआ जरूरी है जो भी सीधा है वो गया ऊपर. So whenever there were family functions or anything, they said only if there is a ramp where Mihir and Karan can come, then we will come, else even we will not go. A movement that they started about 25 years back, that has now recently given us results, that now whenever there are family functions or anything, they make it a point, they will think ke nahi Karan pan avano chhe, तो हमने यहाँ wheelchair accessible जोश है. My dad always used to take us to Shivaji Park in front of public. He wasn't that kind of a person that my children are on a wheelchair, so let them be home. It was rather the opposite, that I need to take them out even more. That was the role that my father played in the upbringing of my brother and me, where it came to making us strong. Whereas on the other hand, our mother used to support us emotionally, like the things that we are going through, like basically a talk out session, which used to happen, talking out of our emotions and everything, that used to be taken care by our mom. So it was a good balance, and that is how Mihir and I were raised. And probably I think that's the biggest reason that the confidence that I have today, it's just because of them. Because being on a wheelchair, I'm also a professional dancer at Shama. Originally, there are many people on wheelchairs whom I have seen over there. Most of them have a lot of self-confidence, but yet there are a few of them who were worrying about being judged. At the time when I had compared about their upbringing by their parents versus my parents, I realized that they were actually उनका जो upbringing हुआ was in a nutshell. घर पर रह के only with the disabled group के साथ get-togethers होते थे. The parents also used to meet. They only used to talk about disabilities. Okay, so I saw these two categories of people, and that time I decided I want to be the one who's in the confident category, not the one who's still anxious.
I think somewhere I resonate with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And somewhere, if you are able to pass down that spirit, Karan, I think our community will be considered less disabled. The reason that I actually connected with you, if you believe it or not, because I kept seeing you on social media, I had no idea who you were. I actually didn't even know you had SMA. I got to know much later. I like the fact that you were on a wheelchair and you were dancing. Spirit of life is what brought me closer to you, as mentally, that made me connect. This is the kind of role model that we need in the society. Somebody who's out there proving to the world that आप जी सकते हो. So kudos to you, Karan.
So luckily the school that I was in was very supportive. Okay, they made me participate in all their school events, whether it be annual day, sports day, yeah, to school trip, field trip, anything. I just got goosebumps. I'm just remembering those good old days.
Which school
This
is
was
this?
JBCN Pan Academy in Lower Parel.
Acha. Okay.
Now that school has shut down and it has been renamed to Aditya Birla Integrated. It's a special needs school. In fact, I had dyslexia, I had ADHD. I could not read, write or anything. If you have seen Tare Zameen Par, like number 6 hota tha, 9 hota tha, I used to get confused. And I was never able to cope up with those things. And no doubt, the education that I got over there was enormous. The teachers were very supportive. The school was very supportive. And because in that school, I had a lot of competition. The disability, itna extreme talak nahi tha. It was a mixture of normal and disabled.
Nice.
So, competition mein hum the, and I think that is what helped me to grow out better, to overcome dyslexia, to overcome ADHD. Another thing was, the first time I got a little confidence boost in my life was when I started bunking school. And that was the first time that, apart, no helpers, no family, no one known. It was only me and one or two friends. Jinke saath mein, I started going out. Okay, though it started off with bunking, but I think that was one of the ways confidence got boosted, and I'm capable enough to take care of myself alone. So in my school, till date, like जब हमारा open day या कुछ भी होता था, at the end of the exams and everything, end of the year, the moment I used to enter the classroom, my teachers used to be like, my mom used to look at me like this, and my dad used to look at me like he's proud of me.
The moment we can, I think, take away that factor of pity from the society, and people start normalizing us with everybody else, I think we've done it. We've achieved our goal. I wanted to ask you one thing, and this is because you started talking about, how you bunked school. When you went out with your friends, and I'm sure your friends could walk while you were on a chair, did you find it convenient or difficult to move around with them?
Phoenix Mall it's basically a very big mall over there.
Achha, so you would go into the mall, okay.
Into the mall, Phoenix Mill. So I think almost everything was accessible. Kabhi kabar, like, it was the minute things, maybe like opening the door. Agar McD mein jana hai ya kuch. Those were the minute parts. But
I feel like going to the beach, let's say. Do you ever get up and do these kind of things knowing that it can be challenging?
I also work with dogs. There have been times where we have to do trekking with them. We have to go on a very uneven road. We have to go onto the beaches. We have to go to the park for outdoor training sessions with them. My career has helped me to overcome those hurdles. And how can I manage myself, my wheelchair, my body in those circumstances? I have learned it over a period of time. Till date, it is still a difficulty. But I think now I'm able to deal with those.
The other day when you posted this incident that happened with you in the theater, and I was so proud of you for doing that.
First of all, when we had gone to book the tickets, okay, they showed it is accessible, wheelchair accessible. Okay, we go over there in the video, the images that I have uploaded, you all can clearly see it is not at all accessible.
So they have marked which chair is wheelchair accessible, which is not. on
which is
in the
not.
seating arrangement, huh?
It is not. And I actually told them, what is the use of wheelchair if people cannot come over there? What was their accessibility was, they have some sort of a wheelchair lifter. It's a machine जो wheelchair में attach होता है, and it takes your wheelchair up to the staircase.
Okay.
That is the definition of wheelchair accessible. Now that machine, I have already tried it in the past. In fact, जितने भी नए wheelchairs आते हैं, whether it be CD, New Healthcare, जो भी है, they always call me first to do a trial.
Okay.
A couple of us are called to do a trial, so I've already used that wheelchair in the past. Now the scene with that wheelchair is that it can only take a maximum load of 160 kg. The motorized wheelchairs itself are somewhere around 80 to 90 kg. Okay, 160 is the max load. So to put it on the safer side, the maximum load that usually these people will allow is 145 kg. मेरा वजन ही is around 80 kilos. My wheelchair is around 80-90 kilos. 160, 170 ऐसे ही हो गया. That machine cannot be attached to a motorized wheelchair. Okay.
Got it.
And then they are teaching me that all of our theaters, they are still arguing that our theaters are accessible.
One thing, Karan, I'm an architect, okay, and I'm only thinking कि आप machine के ऊपर क्यों depend कर रहे हो? Why can't you build a ramp? How much effort does it take to break down a set of stairs, even if they had to do it? Like I'm talking about the civil work.
Yeah.
And just plant a ramp or a ramp at a decent angle that works.
Exact suggestion that even I gave them. I just told them that it is a minimal investment with a ramp that you need to do. In fact, मेरे घर के पास जो theater है, plaza, they have renovated and everything. लेकिन वो I'm talking about something which was 10 years back also, and post renovation also. It is 100% accessible. Multiplex is not able to do it, but these local theaters are doing it.
You need grab bars, you need ramps, you need surfaces which are less accident prone, so that nobody gets hurt in a public space. That's the whole idea, right? You need to coming to positive. What made you start positive, Karan, of all the things in the world? A dog runs faster than a normal human being. हम लोग थक जाते हैं भागते भागते उसके पीछे. What made you pick up this venture, which is so interesting? You have to tell us about it.
So when I had lost my elder brother in 2011, I had gone in a nutshell, which hit me with very bad depression, anxiety issues, public talking. I could not stand in front of people. So तब क्या हुआ था ना? I left my school. I started doing home tuitions, homeschooling. क्योंकि I just could not face public anymore. That was my biggest fear. He died this way, even I might die this way, because even I am suffering from the same thing, even he was suffering from the same thing. तो वो एक fear बैठ गया था मेरे अंदर. And because of that fear ना, I decided कि मुझे सिर्फ घर पर ही रहना है. बाहर का खाना नहीं है, पीना नहीं है, बाहर जाना नहीं है, कुछ करना नहीं है. वो एक fear बैठ गया था मेरे. Basically got a cardiac attack. We were in Mahabaleshwar. Okay, and usually every morning whenever he wakes up, उसका हम पहले कफ निकालते हैं, और जो पूरा accumulate हो जाता था. So he could not cough by himself, so we had to press his chest, his lungs. तो वो कफ ऊपर आता था, and then he used to spit it out. So usually every morning that routine happens. He refused. He said that first I want to have a bath, then I'll remove my cough. My mom was like, okay, no problem. तो उसको उठा के लेके गए नहलाने. He all of the sudden started crying. So my dad came and he picked him up again, and he made him sleep on the bed. By the time he picked him up and he was taking him onto the bed, he passed away in my dad's hand. Within a span of a minute, that whole thing happened. I was right next to him. Losing him was more like losing a companion, losing a best friend, because him also being on a wheelchair, me also being on a wheelchair, what we are going through, or if you want to talk out something, if you want someone to actually understand, it would have been him. Though my parents are there, but if your brother himself is on a wheelchair, he'll understand you 100 times more. The person who was able to understand me had disappeared. And Mihir, in fact, mera jo confidence tha, of course my parents played a role, but Mihir has also played a very big role. मेरे को गुस्सा बहुत जल्दी आता है. Mihir, on the other hand, was exactly the opposite. He was the most calmest person you will ever see. And then there was this one time when we had gone to Shivaji Park. We wanted to play cricket, and उधर है ना थोड़े बहुत लोग, bunch of young children, they were playing cricket पहले से. We had approached them that can we play cricket with you all? And उसने बोला था तू तो लंगड़ा है, तुम लोग क्या क्रिकेट खेलेगा? Listening to this, I already got pissed. I was like, बस अभी धोना है इसको, उसको लंगड़ा करना है. वैसा. And Mir just told me calm down. ऐसा हाथ से इशारा किया कि calm down. And he went to him and he said हम तो है लंगड़े लेकिन वो सिर्फ हमारे पैर से है. तुम लोग लंगड़े हो तुम्हारे सोच से और तुम्हारे विचार से. He said this to them at the age of 7 and 8. So उसका जो maturity level था that time,
was very high.
I think probably that's the reason that he was so mature at such a young age that losing him that time was not acceptable for me. And then one day, after he passed away, मैं घर पर रहता था and everything. Our family friend, Mr. Shamak Dao, he came home, told my mom that why does this house not have a dog? This house needs a dog. Karan needs an angel in his life.
Okay.
And my mom, like any other typical Indian moms, she's like, Shamak, you have come, khana khao, haso. And then that time Shamak uncle said that, Pratima, just trust me. And he left. Next day, he gives a call to my mom. Listen, don't get angry. Be calm.
I'm sending a dog.
Just carefully listen to me. Sending in a dog. And all I want you to do is accept that dog with love. Before Angel, there have been so many dogs who हमारे घर पर आए थे. Okay, the families wanted to give away. They came over here. The first approach was to us. And my mom had refused. And then Angel came. So Angel is the second dog. Earlier we had another dog named Bruno, but we had to send him away because of the issues my brother was getting, breathing issues and everything. And मेरे को skin allergies हो रही थी तब. When Angel came, घर पर bell बजा, and my eyes just sparkled. I opened my room, went towards the door. There was a red basket. In that there was a 45 days old puppy. The moment I saw her, I got overjoyed, and I cried. Probably the tears which I kept on holding back because of my brother's loss. Because the only thing I used to hear was, I need to be strong for my parents. I need to be strong for my parents. वो सुन के है ना, मैं रोया ही नहीं. After Angel came and I realized the moment my tears and everything it came out, I actually became 10 times stronger. There was a time that we had to find a trainer for her. And that is when I came across Shirin Merchant. So Shirin auntie ko also how I met was Mihir had seen her assistant dog demo in his school. So that time he said to my mom कि अगर future में हम लोग ने dog लाया then we'll get it trained by this lady. She came over, she saw Angel, she saw me, and I was that guy who was just sitting like this. I could not look at her. Like depression, anxiety is one thing with a dog. It does not heal completely. Okay, but it makes the process faster.
Yes.
The healing process faster.
Absolutely.
Angel was just 3 months and I was still in that phase yet. Okay. And then she told me that we'll train Angel as an assistant dog. And I did not know what is an assistant dog. So she explained me the procedure. Like, we'll train Angel to make you independent. She'll help you to do your day-to-day chores and everything. So I was like, this sounds great. I told her, okay, what are your fees? She's like, no, I'm not going to train Angel. Because you want an assistant dog, you will have to train her.
Oh, she actually taught you to train Angel. Yes. Fantastic.
Yes. And told me that do one thing, come and join my trainer's course. She just gifted me her course. Okay. And I did that course on how do you become a dog trainer. And after that course, I started training Angel. And in that process, where I realized that, over the past 1 year, मैं क्या था और क्या हो गया हूँ. The reason I decided to start off with Positive Future was that one time we had gone to this one NGO, and over there were these children who had a hole in their hearts, acid victims, rape victims, HIV, AIDS, cancer, and all children are teenage से below 15 years old के सब थे. And over there we had gone to do a therapy workshop with dogs over there. So हमारा एक team था Paws and Kids करके, तो हम लोग तब गए थे उधर. Over there was this one girl who had a hole in her heart who did not have much time to live. Okay, and Angel directly went and sat in her lap, and she cried out tears of joys. Okay? And we were in fact raising funds for her operation. कि हमारे ये वर्कशॉप से जितना भी फंड्स जमा होगा, we'll donate the whole fund for her operation, which unfortunately did not happen. She passed away later on. Looking at that thing that she does not have much time to live, maybe another 15 days or a month. Okay, still with Angel being just there in her presence, if I can make someone who's about to die smile,
Absolutely.
And that is when I realized the power of dogs, the power of unconditional love, the power of wagging tail, the power of those eyes of a dog that can make such a great difference to the society. So
Absolutely.
that is when I started with Positive Future. January, I'll complete 10 years over here.
Brilliant. And uh, what did you see over these 10 years? Have you seen people come forward, accept this venture the way that you had perceived it?
Earlier, not really. Like earlier, I started off as a dog trainer. Now, looking at someone on a wheelchair, who's going to train dogs, that was the first hurdle that I had to cross. कोई लड़का जो व्हीलचेयर पर है, वो एक जर्मन शेपर्ड को कैसे संभालेगा, या वो एक रॉटवाइलर को कैसे संभालेगा? In case if the dog runs away, how will I be able to chase the dog? Okay, so there were a lot of doubts with the clients initially when I started off doing with my work. You could say that I lost almost 80% of my clients to my disability. The consult, they loved the way I spoke, they loved my idea, they loved my methods of training. But the second time they did not call, few of them honestly just told me on my face that because of your disability, we are just taking a step back, I could see their point of view. Even in case if I was in their shoes, even I would have thought of the same thing, like a person on a wheelchair. अगर मेरे पास ये dog है, how can I trust my dog with him? Because your dog is more like your child. Yeah, it's just not a dog. And giving your child in someone's hand like this, it was a big question for them. But I realized that, somewhere or the other, I need to prove myself first. So I decided to volunteer at an NGO called WSD in Mumbai, Welfare of Stray Dogs. It's the biggest NGO in Mumbai. And over there, they loved my work so much that I became their official behaviorist on panel.
Amazing.
The dogs that I worked over there were the dogs with extreme cases of aggression. ठीक है, जो कोई handle नहीं कर पाता था. Okay, those dogs I could tackle, handle, train, and I also got them adopted. So then when I started getting clients, I told them, if you all want to see how I work, you all can come to WSD. You can see the methods that I work with, and then you all can take a call. And it's such a well-known organization that knowing that I'm a behaviorist over there was the first tick for me. That time, जब 80% clients मेरे से चले गए थे, I also had that 20% of clients who were there with me. So working with their dogs was a big example to those 80% of the clients who rejected me. वो जो मेरे 20% clients थे ना, they are the main reason of my success. And till date, I will always salute those clients. ये आज के तारीख में also, whenever they call me या उनके dog के साथ कुछ हो जाता है, I don't charge a penny. Because of that opportunity that they gave me that time.
Because हम लोग जितना दिन कुछ करे नहीं ना इसके बारे में, till the time we get ourselves registered, whether it is for a treatment or it is for a disability card or for our rights, our cases will remain hidden. If I had to bring you down to asking 3 things from the society around you, to make it more inclusive, make it a happy place.
What is very important is acceptance. That you are born with something, okay? And I feel that acceptance first starts from home.
Absolutely.
Self-acceptance बाद में होगा, पहले parental acceptance चाहिए. The reason I am accepting, I am disabled, I have SMA, I'm fighting for it, with a strong attitude, is not because I am born that way, it is because my parents have molded me that way. Absolutely. That I would request the parents to be strong enough to make their child strong. आज के तारीख में सबके खीसे में गांधी जी के फोटो होते हैं नोट में, ठीक है? But in the time where Gandhi ji is ruling the world with money, you need to be a Bhagat Singh. And only if you fight is where you can see a change in the society. Whether it be independence, whether it be Kashmir issue or anything, nothing has been solved over a call. So in case even if you are looking at accessibility or issues that you are facing towards disability in any other aspects in India, you need to fight for it. One thing I would like to talk is about for the animals, which is there. I feel even they are the part of the society.
Absolutely.
Okay? In fact, I feel जितना इंसान को नहीं समझ पाता उतना एक कुत्ता इंसान को समझ लेता है. Because creatures are basically emotional animals. They don't judge you based on your looks or your disability. They'll judge you based on your emotional levels.
I think to me, a pet symbolizes empathy. They are the most empathetic creatures, right? Whenever you come,
Correct.
kahan se bhi aap aao, no
Correct.
questions asked, a wag in the tail, a
Totally.
lick here and there.
Actually, a reason why dogs behave like that.
Hmm.
And that is what even humans start need to do. Okay. So basically, one dog day is as equivalent as to 1 week of a human life.
Yes.
Their life period is very short.
Hmm.
Okay. One dog year is equal to 7 human years.
Yeah, 7
Basically,
years.
the dog also knows that it is there for a short time, and the best way to live is living the life fully and happily. Be there with your close person, be there with the person whom you love the most throughout, be there for them. Like such a thing, even a dog can understand.
Imagine.
But we as humans, we tend to cry over the things, which have affected us 10 years back.
Or an animal who is shunted away, who's mistreated, who's abandoned, for doing nothing just because they can't speak and defend, right? And if they try to defend, you think it's a mad dog. These guys can love back unconditionally. They can be, they live in a very scared environment around humans, and that is the human effect that we have on animals in our society. Imagine the human effect we can have on each other, right? Because starting from the mind of a person to the physical health of a person, etc. And I think somewhere there lies the problem. And like you rightly said, charity begins at home. Family is the smallest unit of the society. If there is no acceptance ghar ke andar, you can't accept it out. You can't expect much outside.
I just wanted to add one thing where I said that someone replaced the whole. My brother wasn't there. It was Angel.
And I knew it before you said it. Dog humans, as I call them, they are equal to 10 good souls. So if you have one good soul going away from the planet, if you can do something kind for these animals, I think, वहीं पे पुण्य भर जाता है. I would request people कि आप donation करते हो, आप गरीब बच्चों को खिलाते हो, पढ़ाते हो, but do something for the animals. Do something for the animals. They are many unprotected, unsheltered, abandoned, highly abused animals in our society, and very few people who are coming out for them, very honestly speaking, right? They also deserve to be included in the society. So Karan, hats off. Okay, on this Independence Day, Maka Salam, and please keep doing whatever you're doing.